It is currently 9:10 a.m. on Thursday, February 15th, 2024. And let me just give a disclaimer right now, especially when I'm documenting and giving you what's happening as it's happening in my videos, and I accidentally say 2022, which I don't know why I'm saying that particular year, but it's 2024, okay? So I just want to go ahead and make that because I was reviewing some of my documentation. It is February 2024, and that's what I mean to say when I am quickly rattling through the information as it's happening in real time. So anyway, this is the specific environment, the maintenance of the light source. This is directed light, and the entity engages in aiming directed light and different methods. What I want to speak to is, this goes without saying, where you're being monitored and group stalked by a government, in concert with the people. My apartment here at Alvarado Gardens, which is a third-party facilitating venue, the fact that the entity is engaging in a targeting system is an ongoing threat to the target individual. I happen to be documenting what a government is doing outside of the bounds of not only constitutional rights, but human rights, and doing it in an unfathomable way in concert with the people. All right. And this is the mask that a corrupt entity is wearing, engaging in this corrupt system with the very people of the state, who are appearing as though they are in a similar situation as you, individuals exercising their right to live around you in the neighborhood. All of that is a fallacy. Where the entity is engaging in what is federal group stalking and monitoring, a third party does not have a right to live next to you for purposes of criminal monitoring. There are no First Amendment, there is no freedom of speech for that. This is a corrupt system that I am exposing, and you are also understanding how it is in no way impervious to federal prosecution. All right, so the public entity, very maliciously and intentionally so, it is by design, utilizing the people of the state. And you are understanding the setting. The unmistakable way of identifying it, it's in a specific venue, all right? It's in a specific environment, all right? And everything about it is a phenomenon, actually. That will be synonymous with it's satanic. These are satanic methods of targeting someone. It is highly malicious. Highly malicious. It's wicked. It's evil. And this evil conduct is manifesting in what is criminal. It is speaking to and revealing what is a corrupt government, a corrupt public entity, and it is utilizing what are highly demented actors. That is the Los Angeles Police Department, and all of their dark secrets are revealed in their behavioral pattern, which is designed to criminally monitor, and they're doing it in concert with the people of the state who are in relevant position. All right, this is a criminal system that's in operation. What I want to be clear, that threat to my life that's posed as I'm subject to it, that goes without saying. I want to document what I experienced this morning walking back to my apartment, and my headphones. This is moments after I documented the video of the Los Angeles Police Department, who are targeting me via amplified audible activity. They're also targeting, as I already explained in the video, but again, I want to reiterate, you're targeting every false premise that this public entity has held. I've shattered it. All right. You think you can appear and look the opposite direction, or appear to be doing something else and not look like a stalker. All of these are false premises. OK, you've identified a venue where you are in the venue. The intent to be there, it's unmistakable. Everything about it is unnatural. It's a phenomenon. Understand, you're recognizing and learning what is a highly malicious system, highly malicious, psychotic levels of targeting someone, and with the interest of appearing as though it's the figment of the imagination of that targeted individual. That's malice, okay? Unfathomable levels of malice in all of its form. All right, so an entity that is engaged in federal group stalking and monitoring, they're very much aware of what you are aware of, what you're documenting while you're documenting it. And they are also showing that level of desperation and continuing to do so, and seeking to threaten you through which your third-party group stalking employer, your third-party group stalking residents who live in a relevant monitoring, a psychotic stalker who is stalking you, monitoring you, on behalf of a government, vicariously doing so. All right. And then hostile to the fact that you are doing it. That's a psychopath. This is surrounding. This is a state. Alvarado Gardens is a venue, and the people of the state, they are here vicariously on behalf of the state. They are in the shoes of the government. They are exercising no constitutional rights, and every single last one of them shall be prosecuted for it. And that is going to remain on their record. They will not walk away from this under any circumstances without a record that's following the threat that they are to the public, engaging in this corrupt system with the state. Okay, you're talking about an inability to handle the inevitable consequences of being caught literally with their pants down. This system in operation, everyone is in trouble. The government is doing it with the people. And this threat that is posed to your life, all right, this highly malicious system that you remain subject to, and I'm referencing myself. I walk up to my apartment this morning and the evidence of someone being in my apartment. So I just want to be clear where the entity is. Who are you going to call? You cannot call the police. The police are monitoring and group stalking you, which is a threat to your life. And there are no witnesses that are going to vouch on your behalf. You have the very people of the state that are surrounding you. In every form, every visitor, every resident that lives here at the property, every vendor that comes and does business with, they're monitoring. It's a malicious state system. It is ceaselessly underway. That's why you have the remaining light source. That's why you have amplified audible activity. That's why you have a highly demented behavioral pattern. Third parties have the uncanny ability to immediately follow or act with simultaneity to whatever it is that I do on a communication device, physically, or whatever it is I do, even when they are not physically around me, where I'm in a room, for example, while I'm in the office, using my communication device or uploading something, immediately the amplified sound of some sort of noise is followed. That's called stalking with audible activity, following with audible activity. That's monitoring, okay? Ongoing knowledge of what I am doing at all times, including in the private space, including when I'm in the nude, including if I'm having any sort of private moment. That's all public information by the entity that's monitoring. That's the sexually violent aspect of federal group stalking and monitoring. The LAPD are sex offenders, okay? Highly disturbed ones, okay? At an unfathomable level of obsession with any and everything that concerns Erica Lorraine Spencer. And that's the reality. That's the same with the people, okay? This demonic behavioral pattern, this demonic environment, as I have broken it down for you, we could just refer to it as unnatural, impossible, a phenomenon. They're synonymous with what's demonic. I'm revealing to you satanic targeting efforts that are employed by an entity. The people of the state, these third parties, whether it's a third party corrupt business, whether it's a third party acting as an individual, all right, that individual is the malice upon which the state system is operating a system. That individual is the state. Everything they say is the state speaking. Everything they do, it is state action. It's called vicarious conduct. This is the malice of the system. And the entity was inside of my apartment this morning, and my headphones were placed on the floor in front of my window. And again, that's just a further communication of a threat. This is reasonably assumed. The entity is monitoring me, but I want to make sure I document and upload this. This also, this is a threat. This is also following the video that I captured when I walked out, and I'm showing you the far distance. Again, a malicious appearance, trying to look that's the stalker that wants to look disinterested, having nothing to do with, no knowledge of you're understanding how a satanic system of targeting operates. All right, you're understanding what is amplified audible activity. That's how I knew that the group stalker that is LAPD was flying around in relevant position, because they were targeting through the sound of it. The loud sound of helicopter in my office, yet I walk outside and the helicopter appears to be very far away. That's entirely demonic, first of all. So understand, LAPD is revealing their secrets. Okay, they're a bunch of demon-possessed group stalkers. This is a prerequisite to group stalking. All right, I'll elaborate on that later. For now, you're prosecuting a system and you're understanding the elements that are always present. You're understanding what is the malice with which this entity is in operation. The entity acting directly, i.e. the Los Angeles Police Department, the entity acting vicariously, i.e. the state, the people of the state. Okay, so inside of my apartment, my headphones are on the floor in the living room, and that's not my doing. I used my headphones this morning when I woke up at around 6 o'clock in the morning. I used my headphones while I was still in bed reading, all right, to focus. And I took my headphones off while I was in my bedroom before I got out of my bed. My headphones never left my bedroom. So after I captured, I've come to work. So this is after 8 a.m. I captured this video that you see of LAPD group stalking, because that's what it is. Again, that false premise of wanting to appear far away is no defense for group stalking. The venue is in existence. It's established. All right. And federal prosecution is such that any police department that you see in the venue, which you see them on video, the environment surrounds the targeted individual, that police department is group stalking. That's the evidence, and that's exactly how that works. Again, a false premise that the entity is relying on, and the pattern of conduct and the specific venue that you're able to establish shatters those false premises. All right. It's not even a legally relevant point. Oh, we're far away. You're in relevant position where there is a phenomenon surrounding the targeted individual. You're stalking. You are stalking, and it is as a matter of fact. Okay. So, like I said, that's a false premise that they rely upon. But what I'm giving you is even more insight. It's good that you saw the distance of that helicopter, because the amplified audible activity inside of my office is referred to as amplified audible activity to monitor me. It also serves to harass and terrorize. It's demonic. All right. It's speaking to what is the facilitation of the people of the state all around me who pace around in this engineered light. This is what group stalking is. All right. It's a corporate effort. It's a group effort. It's a demonic system, and it's criminal in the United States. All right, because the government is operating, invading your privacy, following you around everywhere you go, both directly and vicariously. And they went inside of my apartment today and moved my headphones, put them on the floor so that I would see them as I entered my apartment, looking for. I went in my apartment looking for something, and as soon as I went up there, my headphones were in my living room on the floor. So I just want to document that. And again, that threat goes without saying. Keys to my apartment, a third-party group stalker. Okay, speaker companies giving me supposedly all the copies of my keys. That's not true. That's not true. and this is reasonably understood under the circumstances. But the entity went into my apartment this morning and moved my headphones so that I would see them. And to be honest with you, my understanding is that they would rather me wear my headphones in my office than hear them amplifying helicopter activity, because I made a tremendous point this morning. I've already made that point before. Okay, but it was a great illustration. Amplified audible activity, the group stalkers are a far distance away, employing what are satanic methods, all right? Supernatural, in other words, all right? Yeah, so you're just going to have to understand and take that leap with me. And with regard to that leap, I am substantiating everything by facts and evidence that you can see. Okay? You walk out, you see the distance of that helicopter. How do I know? Well, I'm sitting in the office doing my job, and I'm showing you day in and day out that is the ongoing presence of the Los Angeles Police Department, who in and of itself is showing like a very high volume of presence in and around the property. Okay, that's not a coincidence in a specific environment. In addition, where they want to appear as though, again, they know that they're being documented, and then they fly around at a farther elevation. It is in no way reducing the amplified methods employed to target with noise in the light while these demented actors pace all around in light. That's the focus of criminal monitoring and demonic methods of targeting someone. Okay, the entity that's highly demented, they want to move all around in this light that they keep around me. They want to move all around me in that light, and they want to maintain noise while they do so. Anything that I do immediately follows, or it's occurring with simultaneity to my action, and immediately you'll see somebody move around, or noise will appear, whether I'm in my office or whether I'm at my apartment. Noise is always following whatever it is that I do on a communication device or what I do physically. And nobody is in my apartment. Okay, so this is the pattern of conduct. Now, outside of my apartment, I've showed the engineered light inside of my apartment. I've documented the group stalker that is the Los Angeles Police Department, that is even group stalking with third parties while I'm in my home. But also you have, which is a ceaseless encounter. The Los Angeles Police Department are obsessed stalkers, all right? And they are exposed as engaging in a criminal system, okay? They are a domestic enemy, an established one, and they're going to be exposed for that and prosecuted to the fullest extent of federal law. So they're doing so with the people. So the people live around me. The Los Angeles Police Department is not acting by themselves. When they're not flying helicopters, the people of the state are still maintaining presence. You're talking about unveiling what is perhaps for the average person unthinkable, but I'm revealing not only a criminal system, I'm revealing to you what is a condition of a people. The condition of a people It's revealed in, if you don't want to, if you can't wrap your mind around it, then perhaps look at the evidence. The people of the state living around me in this apartment complex, they're in a specific environment. I've showed you engineered light all over their apartment buildings, all over the parking lot, where they're driving in and out of the property, impossible light activity coexisting with their movement under a light source that remains over the property all day long. So what I've revealed to you via the environment, you're now going to understand what is the condition of those that are in that environment. The condition of those that are in that environment, they are highly demented. They are engaging in what are satanic methods of targeting someone. They are group stalkers. They are not here ignorantly, surrounded by this phenomenon. They are not here ignorantly, especially while I am systematically surrounded with what are any and every method of to maintain noise and to maintain presence and movement in this engineered light. Group stalking is a satanic targeting system. It is being operated by the government, the public entity. It is done by the public entity that acts via the people. Okay? So the environment is the evidence of what I'm telling you. That there are a bunch of demon-possessed group stalkers, highly demented behavioral patterns. All right? A supernatural ability to know what I'm doing in a room when I'm physically in the room by myself. Nobody's in the room with me, but yet everything that I'm doing, whatever it is that I'm doing on a communication device as well, is followed with the criminal elements of monitoring. Light activity, audible activity, and relevant positioning. Relevant positioning is walking by, flying by, driving by, skateboarding by, running by, okay? You have what any sort of crossing my path. That's what group stalking is. And you're doing it as a system. So you can have one person after another drive by. You can have one person after another walk by. They're stalking together. That is maintaining presence together, maintaining activity levels together, maintaining light together. Okay? Doing so on a ceaseless basis while I'm at work, on the property where I live, because they're all engaging in it together, and inside of my castle, my home, my private residence. The people are a violent sex offender, vicariously acting on behalf of this entity that's engaged in corporate invasion of privacy by entity. Nothing that you're doing inside of your private home is private. It's public information. Okay, that's a sex offender at an unprecedented level, and that's a matter of federal prosecution. And for Todd Speaker, everything that's being documented and has been proven, as a matter of fact, you are a group stalker by virtue of the facilitation that you provided is criminal. It's not and also not only do I have the facts to establish it, but I want to be clear, okay? We are not leaving common sense outside of the doorway when you're prosecuting. It is not a coincidence that not only his property is a facilitating venue for the state's criminal system done in concert with the people, it is also his business. His very employees are monitoring. You will in no way escape civil and criminal prosecution, and it is the absence of a coincidence. I just want to make sure that that's clear. There's no coincidence. But even so, I don't have to prosecute on the common sense basis. I prosecute based on facts and evidence, all right, that are insurmountable and which are in no way any competition to the threat that is posed to the life of a targeted individual. You will be liable for it, period. All right. It is currently 9:29 a.m. and I just want to document that the entity went inside of my apartment in order to move my headphones to put them in front of my front door, where I left them inside of my bedroom. That is the communication of another threat. But again, the entity is targeting me at all times and at all places, including where I work and inside of my home. And they go inside of my home. I would just want to make sure I publish this and put it, again, part of my documentation. That is a threat to your livelihood in and of itself, aside from the police group stalking you and monitoring you. And the fact that they're doing it in concert with people that surround you. This is terrorism in every way. Okay, you're understanding what is terrorism. Utilizing satanic targeting methods, terrorism. Stalking by a police department, terrorism. Stalking by the people of the state, highly malicious, terrorism. All right. Amplified audible activity, engineered light, molesting with this engineered light, driving by while impossible light activity travels across, absolutely terrorism. Terrorism. There will be a civil and criminal basis for such prosecution. All right. It is currently, again, 9:30 a.m. and this is P.O.C.